The proud father had waited years for this day, to see his son walk the stage at graduation. But just as the ceremony began, 2 security guards approached, demanding that he leave. The crowd whispered. His son froze on stage, and then 6 men in uniform stood up, their presence silencing the entire auditorium. What happened next? No one would ever forget. Graduation day. A high school gymnasium transformed into a stage of dreams. Rows of folding chairs. Families in their Sunday best. Proud mothers with cameras. Fathers adjusting ties. Grandparents holding bouquets. And in the back of the room, a man stood quietly, his posture straight, his presence commanding even in silence. His name was Sergeant David Turner, a decorated black Marine, a man who had served 3 tours overseas, carried the scars of battle, and dreamed of nothing more than watching his only son walk across that stage. But in this small suburban town, uniforms weren't always met with gratitude, and skin color, sadly, still drew whispers. David walked toward the front, searching for his reserved seat. That's when 2 security guards stepped in front of him. "Sir, this section's for family only." David's brow furrowed. "I'm family. I'm his father," one guard sneered. "ID?" David pulled out his military identification, the same card that had gotten him into bases and war zones. The guard glanced at it, then shook his head. "Doesn't matter. You don't look like you belong here. Step outside before we make you." The words cut deeper than any battlefield wound. Parents turned to stare. Some whispered. Some smirked. David clenched his jaw. He had faced down enemies overseas, but nothing burned like being treated as a stranger in his own son's moment of triumph. For a moment, time seemed to stop. His son Ethan stood on stage, scanning the crowd. Their eyes met. Ethan's smile faltered when he saw the guards blocking his father. The auditorium fell into an uneasy hush, and then footsteps. 6 men rose from their seats. Their movements sharp, their presence unmistakable. They weren't just any men. They were Navy SEALs, Ethan's mentors from a community program that paired veterans with teens, men who had fought alongside Marines like David, men who understood loyalty, sacrifice, and respect. One of them, Chief Petty Officer Ramirez, stepped forward. His voice carried like thunder. "Is there a problem here?" The guard straightened. "This man doesn't belong." Ramirez narrowed his eyes. "That man is Sergeant David Turner. He's a Marine who's bled for this country, and he's the father of the graduate you're guarding this ceremony for." The SEALs formed a line, shoulder to shoulder, between David and the guards. The room erupted in murmurs. The principal rushed over, pale and stammering. "What's going on?" Ramirez didn't flinch. "Your security tried to throw out a war hero in front of his son on graduation day." The principal's jaw dropped. Gasps filled the auditorium. Parents began recording on their phones. The guards shifted uncomfortably, realizing the weight of their mistake. Then, in a voice that shook the walls, Ramirez declared, "Sergeant Turner doesn't leave this room. He takes his rightful seat, front row where his son can see him." Applause broke out. First a ripple, then a wave, then thunderous clapping that filled the auditorium. David, though humbled, held his head high as the SEALs escorted him to the front row. His son's eyes glistened with pride. When Ethan's name was called, he walked across the stage, not just a graduate, but the son of a man honored before the entire community. And when he accepted his diploma, Ethan raised it high, pointing directly at his father. The crowd rose to its feet. Even those who had once whispered prejudice now clapped, some ashamed, some awakened. The incident didn't end at graduation. Word spread quickly. Videos of the SEALs defending David went viral. Headlines read, "Marine disrespected at son's graduation until SEALs stepped in." The guards? Fired within a week. The school district issued a public apology, but David didn't dwell on bitterness. He used the moment to speak to students about respect, unity, and the unseen battles veterans carry. This wasn't just about one Marine, one son, or one graduation. It was about dignity, about how easily people judge, and how quickly courage can silence cruelty. David didn't raise his voice. He didn't fight. He simply stood in truth, and 6 SEALs bound by honor made sure the world listened. So the next time you see someone treated as if they don't belong, remember this story. Because sometimes the most powerful stand isn't made with weapons or anger. It's made with loyalty, respect, and the courage to say, "He belongs." Music fades. Screen to black. Screen to black.